What expectations are silently crushing international students abroad, and why is no one talking about it? Good day, my wonderful and successful international students. I am very happy to be here today. Today, we're unpacking the emotional pressure that comes from family, culture, and those invisible expectations that are attached to studying abroad. I created this channel in the year 2020 because I realized something very important. Nobody prepares international students for the emotional side of studying abroad. We prepare for the exams, we prepare our documents, we prepare finances, but we don't prepare for pressure, for the hidden curriculum that is behind any international educational experience abroad. So, if you have ever felt overwhelmed, and if you have ever felt like you're carrying more than just textbooks, this channel is for you. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be notified about our new episodes. I am sure you will definitely feel connected because in this channel, we create videos to connect with international students that are out there feeling some of those same struggles and challenges that you're just feeling. So let's dive into today's topic. When you left home, something shifted, right? You were not just you anymore. You became the brave one, the smart one, the example, maybe the investment or the hope from the family. So maybe somebody said even directly, make us proud or don't waste this opportunity. Studying abroad is something very challenging and you did it. So I am sure you will succeed or you will get a great job. And on the surface, of course, those words feel encouraging and thank you. But underneath, only those who are international students, we know how it feels. And sometimes these comments and these expectations can feel very heavy, sometimes even as a burden. Because now your degree is not just your education. It feels like responsibility. And then when things get hard, because trust me, things will get hard when you're living in a new environment, you just don't feel the stress. You actually feel pressure. So let's understand why this pressure feels so powerful when we become international students. First of all, many international students carry what we call the pioneer role. What is this? You might be the first one in your family, maybe the first one in your community, the first one to leave your country, the first one to have this wonderful experience. Sociologically, this is what happens, that you feel that you're not just representing yourself. Now you represent the possibility, also in collectivistic culture sometimes, you're going to represent the community, you're going to represent your family. So your success is not just individual. Success belongs now to the group. Your achievements reflect now on your family. Your career reflects on your parents. And your stability reflects now on your community back home. So the pressure is not imaginary. It is cultural, and that is important. This is not about blaming families, of course, or blaming our friends. This is about understanding structure and why sometimes this pressure of being the first one can be so damaging sometimes to our mental health. Now, let's add the psychological effect to that first part. This is something that we call the halo effect. What is this? When people see you just did something impressive, like you achieved this scholarship, you're going to be a student abroad, you're going to be able to travel to the UK, to Australia, to Canada, to the US. When people see you do something impressive, like studying abroad, maybe like winning a scholarship in an international university, everybody assumes that you're going to be strong and the best everything. And don't get me wrong, I know you might be very smart and very intelligent because if you made it out there, that means you're already amazing. But also, people back home are going to start thinking, okay, so you are also brave, you're also independent, So you're going to succeed quickly. They see the highlight of what is happening, but they don't see the story behind. The visa stress, the job market competition, the cultural confusion you're going through, the part-time job exhaustion, and the identity shifts that you're going through. They only see the halo, not the human being. Now, when you combine cultural expectations and psychological pedestal, you are going to get a lot of internal pressure because you might start thinking, I cannot fail. I cannot disappoint anyone back home. I cannot tell them that I'm struggling. I have to succeed fast. Then here is something very important. In many collectivistic cultures in many countries, like my country where I come from, which is Mexico sometimes, daily communication with the family is expected and it's normal. So the pressure is not once in a while. The pressure is daily, because daily you're talking to your family and they start asking, tell me what you did. How did you do today in school? Did you apply for that job? Did you already get an answer? How are you doing? And this is when many international students begin to feel the imposter syndrome, the anxiety, the emotional exhaustion, fear of failure, and sometimes even isolation. When everybody's expecting the best of you, you start thinking, I cannot share that I'm not feeling I'm going to make it out here. And as many of my students sometimes have shared with me, is like, teacher, I think I'm going to have to go back. I don't think I'm made for this. So this silence becomes really heavy for international students. Let's slow down for a little bit, because we're not going to fix this situation, of course, by cutting people off our lives. Of course, we want to make people proud back home. We want to make our friends proud. International students have to deal with a dual life, because at the same time that you are in a new country, learning the new rules, the new culture, the new educational system, at the same time, you're still connected, of course, to your home country. So I understand, we understand, you're not the only one feeling this struggle. As I already mentioned, we do not fix this problem of the high expectations of friends and family back home by cutting people off. We're going to fix it with emotional maturity and emotional intelligence. I always give you real tools and real strategies that can help you overcome these circumstances and situations. So I'm going to share with you 5 strategies that I have shared with many of my international students. I really hope these strategies can help you deal with these expectations from back home so that you can actually start thriving and not only surviving in your study abroad experience. So tool number 1, it's called reinterpret expectations as love. Before reacting with frustration, and before reacting in a negative way, your mom, your dad, brother, sister, they start asking you, tell me, how did you do in your exams? How did you do in your midterms? You start feeling like, how am I going to share that I'm failed when everybody has so many expectations? So when you start reinterpreting expectations as law, ask yourself, what if this expectation from my mom, from my dad, from my friend is actually fear? I believe all the people that are back home, they usually have fear that you won't be safe in this new country, fear that you won't be stable, maybe even fear that the sacrifice that all the family is probably making for you to be able to be studying abroad is not going to pay off. So if you start reframing this expectation and this pressure into, they are worried about me, this is coming from love. Reframing does not remove the pressure, but it reduces the resentment that you may have sometimes with people back home. It's not that they're trying to put this pressure on you on purpose to make you feel bad, but this comes from love. So that's the first strategy. We have to work with our mindset and see any question, any expectation coming from back home it's coming from love. If we reframe this from love, from care, from empathy, then we feel, okay, I need to calm down before reacting, before saying, you don't understand what I'm going through, or you have no idea what this is like. Relax, breathe, and understand. This is coming from love, okay? Strategy number 2, practice controlled honesty. Now, sometimes we share absolutely everything that happens. It is important to know that we do not need to overshare, but also you don't need to hide everything, because we tend to hide absolutely everything. Why? Because we think, I don't want to worry my family back home. But instead of, oh, absolutely everything is perfect, how about trying this? You know what? It has been challenging, but I am learning a lot. Try to be honest without being disrespectful. This sentence, I am learning a lot and it's challenging, can be very powerful. It tells the truth, but it doesn't create panic, of course, with our friends and our family back home. I believe also trying to be honest is not trying to convince them, oh, you don't know because here everything is so different. We cannot really explain back home what things we go through and how everything is so different because they're not here. So it's not about convincing them or making sure they completely understand how different this new environment is, because they don't have the tools. They're not there with you. So stop trying to make sure that you convince them about understanding what you go through. Just be honest. In a very respectful way, be honest. Okay? Very good. Tool number 3, define your own success timeline for yourself. And we know that, of course, back home, everybody knows that, okay, it's been a month, 2 months. How come you don't have a job yet? You were supposed to have already a part-time job. But they may not know how the environment and the context is here. So it is important to first define your own success timeline. Ask yourself, if nobody was watching what I'm actually doing, what would success look like for me this year in this new country? Maybe feeling more confident in class or feeling more confident with people that I don't know. Maybe learning how to communicate more successfully in this new culture. Maybe learning to be more resilient. Maybe even learning to be more independent in my studies. You must have a definition of success that belongs only to you. But this is for you. You need to make sure that I understand that maybe even if expectations back home may be a little different from what I know I can do, I am doing okay, I am doing great, and my own goals are being met on my own time. Very good. Tool number 4, separate your worth from your degrees, from your outcomes, from your grades. Your GPA is not your identity, is not who you are. That internship rejection is not your value, it's not your worth. Your job delay, it's not how smart you are, and it's not your intelligence. Sometimes the system, the environment in which we're moving into, it's very complex. So the problem may be structural, not personal. We understand that these countries that we're moving into, they have their own struggles. They have their own timelines. For example, we know nowadays what a difficult time we're living in many countries, including all these first world countries that we moved into, UK, Canada, US, Australia, same situation. So we have to understand that sometimes not getting that job, not getting maybe that grade, it may be a situation that may be structural. Tool number 5, build a supportive voice where you are heard, okay? Build this community. You need someone physically here in this new country that is present in your current life, that can actually understand you and connect with you. Find a mentor, a classmate, a professor, a friend, someone who sees your effort and values that effort. Because if your only feedback is coming from back home, it's not going to reflect your real growth. Remember, people back home, they have a different perspective. But the people here in your new country are going to understand what you're going through. So they will be able to understand every single win that you achieve in this new environment. Now, we have talked very briefly about these 5 tools. Remember? Number 1, reframed expectations. Number 2, controlled honesty. Number 3, defining your own timeline. Number 4, separating worth from outcome. And number 5, building your local support. Now, don't turn this into another new expectation that is going to put more pressure on you. Of course not. Start with only one. Maybe this week you try one honest sentence with your family back home. Maybe you define your own success metric. Maybe you sit down, you're honest with you, and you say, you know what? Maybe this week, this is what I'm going to achieve. Something small, baby steps. That is much better. Trust me, it works. Maybe you simply remind yourself, my timeline is not my value. My grades, they're not my value. My rejection letter for this job is not who I am. And here is something very important. Your family and your friends are loving you from a distance. They do not see the cultural adaptation. They do not see the immigration rules. They do not see the academic pressure, the job market complexity. And it is okay. Success here works differently and it takes time. So you are adjusting to a new country. They may also need to adjust their expectations as well. You're not a project. You're a person becoming a new version of who you are. So you're allowed to grow slowly, redefine success, change direction, and this takes time. So now go to the comments and share. What expectations feel the heaviest for you right now in your study abroad experience? And which one of those 5 tools are you going to start with? If you feel that this episode helped you, please hit like, subscribe, but also make sure to share it with other international students. When you subscribe to our channel, you're also helping other international students around the world find these videos, connect with you so that you understand that we go through these invisible challenges together. Remember, you're not alone. And also, just like I tell you in every single episode, remember this amazing experience of you being an international student? It's not only about studying abroad. It is also about thriving abroad. You've got this. You know that I believe in you, and I will see you in one of our next episodes. Ciao.
How?